Welcome ESL to week 4. We are at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, our first road course of the season for the Next Gen Series, as Gerald Smith is on the pole. We will see who brought the fastest car to the track. Your top 10 in qualifying was Gerald Smith, Stefan Forge at second, Amelia Rose third, Justin Chris fourth, Evan Ethel fifth, JQ sixth, Odion seventh, Kenny 8th, Travis 9th, and Cole Shoemaker 10th. We have 14 turns in this road course, so a lot can happen. And which will be the next driver that locks themselves into the playoffs. So far, Merle McGuire, Amelia Rose, and Kyle Storm have locked themselves in. Coming into the race, drivers that are on the bubble is CJ Slava, Joshua King, John Anderson, and Odion. Those drivers are currently outside looking in, so they need as many points as they can get. Stefan Forge looking for his first win in the Next Gen Series. He came from the trucks last season. He's had some decent races, but he's looking to get into victory lane. As we get ready for the start of the race. Green flag is out, and we start week 4. And Gerald Smith gets out to a quick start, followed by Stefan Forge and Amelia Rose. Will we have any issues heading into the first turn? Travis Arthur trying to overtake Kenny. As they touch, and the 90 loses traction and goes into the gravel. Also, Evan Ethel goes into the gravel. 2 Northern Lights racing cars, as they're trying to get back out on the track, spinning their wheels. Let's try to see what happened. So unfortunate. He just, as soon as they touch, he gets off the track. Once you touch that grass, your tire starts spinning, and that's all it takes. As you can see, he just loses it there. And Evan Ethel looks like he makes contact with his teammate, Justin Chris. Same thing happens to him. Such an unfortunate start for Northern Lights Racing. Gerald Smith continues to lead. Just about almost a second lead on Amelia Rose. What a wild start to the race. As it seems like something also happened to Merle. He's way off the pace in last. Our second place, Amelia Rose, followed by Stefan Forge. Those are currently your top three, as we see Justin Chris in the picture in fourth after making contact with his teammate. If the start of the race is any indication of what we're in for, these restarts are gonna be wild, that is for sure. Odion is in fifth. He's desperately looking for any points, stage points, anything he can get. Here's Killmonger Vasquez in 30th. He is currently in the playoffs, but right now he's sitting 30th, so right now he's probably on the bubble himself. As we see the 502, and they touch, and they collide. Now the 21 gets in the grass. Now the 21's trying to get back on the track. Will he be able to? As you see him spin his tires. And he gets back on now. Now he is in last. Gerald Smith on the lead. He's trying to continue to expand that lead. Amelia Rose trying to make up some ground here. Stefan Forge with the fastest lap in the race so far. Can he make the pass on the 337 as he gets very close to second place? Road courses always shake things up. You just never know. There's so much grass on these courses as well. No matter if somebody puts you into that grass or not, once you touch that grass, you definitely lose so much traction. Road courses is all about position. You want to be up front. That's Stefan Forge as we head into turn 6. Stefan Forge is slowly trying to make that ground. As you see, Justin Chris is right behind him. There's 17 laps in the first stage. As we see, as Gunny comes off the track. Looks like they also make contact. He makes contact with the 501, and he does. It doesn't take much on that turn. As you see, Evan also loses it again. Let's see what happened to Evan if he made contact with somebody or did he just lose it? Yeah, no contact. He just took that turn too fast, lost control. What a rough start for him today. "11 laps to go to the end of the stage. Right now, Gerald Smith is in total control. The 710 as well comes off. He is trying to get himself back on the track and does. We have a slick track, 118 degrees. Amelia Rose in second and slides into that turn. Almost drifted through that turn. 10 laps to go to the end of the stage. Stefan Ford still in third. Justin Chris in fourth. Odion in fifth, followed by JQ, Cole Shoemaker, Travis, Lotus Lee, and Berto Demora. You want to be in that top 10 to get some stage points. Nine laps to go. And Gerald Smith has a 2-second lead. So he has a ton of speed today. They brought a fast setup to the track. As we go around turn 6 into the straightaway. Just have to continue to put consistent laps together. Especially when you're in the lead, you don't want to make mistakes. You want to hit your marks. There's still plenty of racing to go, so a lot can happen. Six laps to go this time by. Amelia Rose still in second, with Stefan Forge closely behind. Just can't find a little extra speed to make that pass. As we see Justin Chris back in the picture. He's making up some ground again. He's had a strong start to the race. You expect no less from him, last year's champion. He's looking to get into victory lane. And he is currently 32nd in the standing, so he's a ways from making the playoffs. So if he could put together a strong race, that'll be big for this team. Can he make the pass on Forge? It's not that easy to make passes on a road course. You gotta find a perfect spot to make that pass. 7 laps to go to the end of the stage. Muldoon still in 5th. JQ on 6. Cole Shoemaker 7th. Travis Arthur 8th. Lotus Lee 9th. And Berto 10th. Followed by Rooster Rodden and Brogan. And last week's winner, Kyle Storm, is in 13th. Gerald Smith continues to lead. He continues to pull away. Almost a 3-second lead now. Let's take a ride on board the number 31. Five laps to go to the end of the stage. As we have a battle for 19th, for 20th, excuse me. As they're side by side heading into one, and they make contact. Robert Tibbs in the inside. He wants that position. They still side by side as they touch again. And the 20th touches the grass. The 16 puts him into the grass. They were just banging all the way into the first and second turn. '16 definitely gets into the 20. The 20 touches that grass. What a wild race so far. Four laps to go. Three-second lead for Gerald Smith. As we have a battle for 22nd. Zach Holdorf, Doug Britton. Zach takes 22nd. As you see, Doug Britton has definitely some damage on the side of that car. As Chris Andrews is trying to make the pass on the inside. Chris Andrews takes 23rd. Three laps to go. Almost a 3.5-second lead for Smith. Getting a stage win will be big for this team. All he has to do is make it these next few laps. As you can see, he loses some traction around the turn. Definitely don't want to make a mistake right now. Two laps to go. Amelia Rose in second. And Ford still in third. Closely followed by Justin Chris in fourth. Now we see Kyle Storm. He's off the track. Lost a ton of positions. Last week's winner. He lost total control of that car. One lap to go to the end of the stage. Gerald Smith still in control. Just has to get through a few more turns. As we head into turn 12 and 12 in turn 13. CJ Slava just passes E Weezy for 17th. As we head around the last turn. Gerald Smith wins stage 1. Who will head into the pits? As we saw towards the end, there was quite a bit of cars loose, a lot of wear on those tires. I'll be surprised if everyone doesn't come in. But Gerald Smith was in full control of that first stage. Can he replicate that in stage 2? Definitely a wild stage 1. We'll see what we get in stage 2. Here are your winners so far this season. In week 1, Daytona, Amelia Rose. Week 2 was Merle McGuire at Martinsville. Week 3 was Kyle Storm at Atlanta. Who will be this week's winner and lock themselves in? Not many more races left to lock in a spot by winning in the playoffs. Who will head into pit lane? So far, no takers as I can see. AJ Stryker heads in. And everyone else follows her except Robert Tibbs. We'll see what these drivers can do with some fresh tires. They stop now, they might be able to gain some track position with these fresh tires. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Some of these cars do have damage, so I'm sure some of them are coming in for some repairs. As AJ comes off first, followed by Kenny, Merle, Kyle, Andrew, Gunny. Kenny Flores did win our YouTube poll for the driver that would most likely win the race. He is currently 27th, but I wouldn't count him out. Northern Lights Racing Team has just caught some bad breaks. They have fast cars. I don't see this happening too much often. It's just, sometimes it's just how racing goes. It's unfortunate. I see them back on their old ways soon. Let's take a look at the power rankings. As Andrew Green is on top, Kenny Flores is in second, Lotus Lee in third, Merle McGuire in fourth, Robert Tibbs fifth, E. Weezy sixth, Kyle Storm seventh, Rooster Rodden eighth, Stefan Forge ninth, and Evan Ethel is 10th. There will be a shakeup most likely after this race. We will see. As the lights go off in the pace car, 1 lap to go. Who will get aggressive on the restart to make passes? You can either be successful or end up in the gravel, as we've seen in the first stage. Next week, we head to Charlotte. We always have great racing at that track. I'm sure some of these drivers are ready to go back to some oval racing after today. Our next road course is the start of the playoffs, which is week 9. We are at the Charlotte Roval. But the goal right now is just to get points, maybe get a win. But the goal is just to make the round of 16, be the one of the top 16 drivers to get into the playoffs. That's the goal right now for all of these drivers. And no one's out yet. There's still time to gain points. Still a chance to get a win. As we head into turn 12 and 13, and get ready for the restart and the start of stage 2. Gerald Smith with another quick start. As we start stage 2. Side by side is Amelia and Stefan as we head into turn 1. As they make contact, Amelia Rose loses a spot down to 3rd. A lot of traffic in the back as we see a few cars off the track. Brogan, Shoemaker. Also, JQ is back there. Seems like the 125 starts this whole chain reaction. Something happens with the 125. The 405 and the 125 lose it, make contact. They definitely started this chain reaction. Gerald Smith continues to lead as we head into the front stretch. We see Kenny way off the pace. He must have also got caught up. JQ as well, as Andrew Green is in the pits. And the 301 as well. Gerald Smith, Stefan, Amelia, Justin, Odion, Rooster, Berto, Billy, Tyler, and Mike are your top 10. Gerald Smith trying to get another stage win. Can he do it? So far, he's been running a flawless race. As his teammate is in 2nd. They both desperately need a win. Apex has brought some strong cars to the track today. As we see Andrew Green coming out the pits. Tough day for this team. You know, they always bring some speed to the tracks. He is currently in 35th position, one lap down. As Stefan Forge is closing the gap on the 31. That's Amelia Rose. Let's see if we could, Stewart's Amelia. Makes contact with the 3. He made contact with the 502 as well. They pushed him out into that gravel. Looks like he got stuck out there. And it's back on pit road. Can Stefan Forge make the pass on his teammate? As the caution is out. This doesn't happen often that we get a caution on a road course. It looks like somebody spun out and blocked the lane. As you see Gunny there. Not sure if Gunny makes contact with Merle. Once they block that lane, the caution does come out. And that is what triggered the caution. Now will anyone head to the pits that didn't pit after the first stage? This definitely switches up the strategies of some of these teams. Wolf Speed Media, just in the description is our link to our Discord. You could join through there. Who will head on to pit road? So far, the leaders do not pit. Interesting. Does anyone else come in? No one wants to lose the track position. It's hard to gain it back once you lose it. As Brogan is the only driver, and JQ. Now we see Merrill, Tibbs. All these drivers come in. Four drivers. All these drivers are still on the lead lap. JQ comes off first, followed by Brogan. Looks like Merrill and Robert are repairing some damage that they suffered earlier. Some of these cars are in some real rough shape. There's still 30 cars on the lead lap. We should get the one to go next time by. As Andrew Green gets the lucky dog, he gets his lap back. He is back on the lead lap. Never count this team out. He is also a prior champion. That car doesn't look in too bad of a shape. As we see Tibbs come out and Gunny. Robert Tibbs got his repairs that he needed. He is also still on the lead lap. As Gunny loses it coming out of pit road. Touches this grass and just loses control. Such a bad day for this team. I'm sure he's ready to put that car in the holler and call it a day. As the 68 goes back onto pit road. Your current top 10, Gerald Smith, Stefan Forge, Justin Chris, Brewster Rod and Emilio Rose, Billy Sauter, Odion Muldoon, Mike Honcho, Berto Demora, and Lotus Lee. Those are your current top 10. We'll have 11 laps to the end of stage 2. Once we hit that green, once we hit the restart. It's currently one car on pit road, and that is the 502. What type of restart will we get? We will soon find out. And we are back to racing with Gerald Smith to another fast start. Stefan in second, closely followed by Amelia Rose as we head into turn 1. 499 trying, as we see Odian lose it. And CJ. Everyone just trying to get by. That first turn is just creating havoc. As Odian hits the 01, they definitely get together there. And the caution is out once again. As you see, there's quite a bit of drivers that were caught up in that. Killmonger, Andrew Merrill, Stewart, Doug, Shoemaker, CJ. At this rate, we might end stage 2 on a caution. It's very rare we get cautions on a road course, but as soon as the driving lane is blocked, the caution flag will come out, as now we see the leaders come into pit. So now this changes everything. As Mike Honcho stays out. So now the pit strategies are all different. And some of these drivers that pitted on lap 19, now they're in front of the pack. Evan Ethel is now second. Kyle Storm is third. Kenny is fourth. Brogan is fifth. So these drivers just jumped like 20 positions. Now take it, they are on older tires, but they just gained a whole ton of track position. It's been such a wild race. I don't expect nothing different the rest of the way. So Mike Honcho has not pit all race. He's on tires that are 30 laps old. Take it, most of those laps are caution laps. How will that affect the restart? After such a tough start for the 38, involved in a few incidents, now he is in second place. And his teammate is in fourth. A wild turn of events, as you see that 81 doesn't even have. Looks like he's missing his whole backside. Bumper's gone. The back of that car is completely missing. We should get the one to go this time by. There's a few cars coming out of pit road. You just never know what to expect on a road course. Road courses always shake things up during the season. Now, how will this restart go? As Merle comes out of pit road. We still have 24 cars on the lead lap. There'll be 7 laps to go to the end of the stage once we get the green flag. As we see Merle get the wave around. Will fuel be an issue on some of these drivers, some of these cars? The ones that have pitted in lap 19. Can they make the distance? They might be able to. It's the end of stage 2. We have a few more caution laps. It is possible they can squeak it through, but it's going to be close. As we get ready for the restart. Pace car comes off. And we're back to green flag racing. Mike Concho with the lead. Kyle Storm in second. Side by side with Evan. As we know, this first turn can get crazy. Brogan in there trying to take fourth. And Kyle loses it. With Evan Ethel able to save it. What a save by the 38. Stays in second place. As we see the cars that pitted. The used to be leader, Gerald Smith, comes off with his teammate. What a tough break for the 31. So strong all race. They decide to pit, and that decision became costly. You want to be in front of the pack. So unfortunate for the 31 as Mike Concho continues to lead. But the 38, he had an amazing save. Now he's sitting in second. Kyle Storm is back on pit road. He could not recover as Mike Concho comes in. He comes into pit, and now your leader is Evan Ethel, the number 38. The 38 went from having such a terrible start to the race to now being the leader. Now what can he do to stay up front? As Brogan's in second and Kenny's in third. Followed by Tibbs. All these cars were in such trouble early on during the race. As something happens to Rooster Rodden. His car is missing the whole front end. The whole front end is gone on this car. He couldn't even make it back to pit road. Now the interesting part, what happens? The 38 pitted lap 19. The 3 pitted lap 26. So obviously, can the 38 make it on fuel to the end? Or will they pit after stage 2? As we have five laps to go. This race might come down to strategy. But this will be a big story after this race if the 38 can pull this off and lock himself in the playoffs at the same time. But Brogan has a lot to say about this. The number 3, he definitely wants to win and lock himself in. And he's on a new team, and that new team is trying to make a statement. They're hungry for a win. As we see a lapped car up ahead. Will that cause any issues for the 38? Four laps to go to the end of stage 2. Brogan is right on his tail. He is not losing no ground. You got to remember, Brogan is on fresher tires. Catching up to him is easy. Can he get by is going to be the hard part. And will that lapped car cause any issues? The important thing right now for the 38 is just winning the stage, because those points are crucial. Evan Ethel is currently 14th in points. So the stage win will be big right now. As Evan gets a little loose, now he makes the pass on the 502. Brogan follows right behind him. Can he find a way to make a pass? It's not going to be easy, as we have 3 laps to go to the end of stage 2. As the 3 gets loose into the turn. Right now the 38 and the 3 are doing everything they can to stay 1 and 2. The 38 has 2 teammates behind him in 3rd and 4th. As we head into turns 12 and 13. Evan Ethel still holding on to the lead. Two laps to go to the end of the stage. The smooth sailing up ahead, no lapped cars to worry about. As you see the 90 right behind the number 3. He also pitted in lap 19. But his teammate, Robert Tibbs, pitted on lap 26. How will all this play out? This is definitely some great drama. And nerve-wracking for some team owners. That's a 38, definitely gets loose there. The 3 is right there, just trying to find a way to get by. One lap to go to the end of the stage. The 38 just has to hit his marks. One more lap to get the stage win. As the 710 comes off the track. He's had a rough go today as well. Only two cars on pit road right now. Rooster Rodden and a 502. We go around turn 11, head into turn 12. The 38 doing everything he can to hold on. Go around turn 14 into the front stretch. Evan Ethel wins stage 2. Now, how will these strategies play out? Will they risk it? And maybe they have enough for fuel to make it to the end. Will they play it safe and just come in, top off, get new tires, fresh tires? Right now, he's showing speed up front. What will they decide? What will the crew chief decide? If I was his driver, I would want to stay out after the early type of race we had early on. I wouldn't want to be back to mid or back of the pack again. So quite a few cars that pitted on lap 30. I do not see those cars coming in, but if they might, but maybe if the leaders come in, they might, but Robert Tibbs probably stay out. JQ. The key is, will those cars that pitted on lap 19, will they come in? Having fresh tires might not make too huge of a difference unless you're up in front of the pack. If you're towards the back, it's hard to gain so much ground, even on fresh tires. It's a difficult call, but it has to be made. This race and series is sponsored by Barber Ford of Holland, Michigan. To check out any new and used cars, go to barberford.net. as we round turns 12 and 13. Who will go on to pit road, and Evan Ethel stays out. And probably everyone else will follow suit. So the 38 team thinks they can make it to the end on fuel. Will they change their minds after the restart? We have a few cars that go into pit road. There are a few, they're one lap back. Andrew Green, Killmonger. We have the 1 to go signal this time. An unfortunate day for the 31. He was so fast today. Had a great stage 1. He was doing great stage 2 until the cautions came out. Decided to pit. The team decided to pit. Put some about mid-pack. And he just gets caught up in a wreck. And his day, I mean, it's not over. He's back on the lead lap. But, man, it cost him a win for sure. Those decisions can be costly. Maybe he can climb a few spots with the fresh tires. We will see. The man of the hour, though, is Evan Ethel. Can he hold on? Does he have enough to get to the end of the race on fuel? We know Brogan does. But does the 38? Can the 38 get that fuel mileage he needs? The same with the 90. Can he flourish? Does he have enough to get to the end? Right now you have 4 Northern Lights racing cars in the top 5 after such a horrible start in the race. It just shows you what can happen on a road course. Everything can just turn on a dime. As we go around turn 11. This has been an exciting day of racing. Then we're back to the ovals at Charlotte next week, 1.5 mile. As the pace car heads into pit road. Green flag is out, and we start stage 3. Evan Ethel with a quick jump. As we see Brogan in second, followed by Kenny and Tibbs. You know, this first turn can get crazy as the 90 gets very loose. Holds on, but now the 90 loses it. He just lost it. I do not think he made contact. As we go on to chopper cam. He gets a little loose. He's trying to recover there. He does not get touched. He just definitely loses it. As we see Stefan Forge. He got caught up. And he is on pit road. Evan Ethel continues to lead. Kenny's down to 18th. He almost recovered it, but he just couldn't. And he is on those older tires, so it's much tougher. Evan, Brogan, Robert, Jay, and Justin, your top 5. As Iweezy also came off the track. He is in the pits. As Robert Tibbs is right behind the number 3. Can he figure out a way to get past the 3? As the laps are winding down. The question of the day is for the 38. Do they have enough fuel to get to the end? Or will he just push it until he runs out of fuel? The number 3 would love to see that happen. That would put him in the lead. We have 14 laps to go. cars on pit road. Stefan Forge, E. Weezy, and AJ Stryker. Let's take a ride on board the number 3. The number 3 desperately doing everything he can to get to the bumper of that 38. A win and you're in the playoffs. And this might be their only chance to get a win, so you got to do whatever it takes to take the lead or to hold on to it. He's driving the wheels off that car, trying to, as he goes to the outside. As they're side by side into the turn. Brogan trying to take the lead away from Ethel. He temporarily takes it. They're still side by side. As we go around turn 11, the 3 just gets by the 38. And I think those fresh tires definitely did the trick. He can take those turns more sharper. He has a lot more grip taking those turns. The 38 did everything he could to hold on to that lead. Still running a heck of a race after the crazy start. Now can Brogan hold on? And will the 38 still come into pit? But Robert Tibbs is also on those fresher tires. Can the 20 catch the 3? First he has to get by his teammate, the 38. But he is running out of laps, 12 laps to go. Can he wheel the car past the 38? But Brogan, he is not creating a lot of separation. As you see, like the top 7 are not too far apart. They're like one car length apart, 1, 2. We head into turn 12 and 13. The 38 still holding strong in second. Will the 3 make a mistake? That's all it takes. One mistake, you lose the lead. As the 3 gets a little loose, he seems to struggle through turns 1 and 2. The 3's gonna have to do everything he can to hold on to the lead. He's going to have to hit his times if he wants to win this race. The drivers behind him have proven to be winners. The 38 is right there. He's keeping up, even on these older tires. He's trying to make it work. As we go into turn 1 and turn 2, this is where the 3 seems to struggle. Nobody wants to see a caution right now. That would change so much if a caution were to come out. Brogan, Evan, Robert, Jay, and Justin are your top 5. Justin has been clean all race, been consistent, and here he is in the top 5, putting together his best race of the season as he gets a little loose there. But he's definitely put together a great race, and he should definitely gain a few spots in the standings. He would love a win, but he'd also want a consistent finish at least. As Brogan gets loose again in that second turn. Nine laps to go. Brogan up 15 positions since the start of the race. He would want nothing more than to put DOG into victory lane and give them their first NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series win. But can he fight off a proven winner in Evan Ethel? As Evan Ethel comes off into pit road, so he did not have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. So they made this decision to stay out, but they knew they had not enough fuel. So now, can Tibbs catch the number 3? They both pitted at the same lap, 26. Does he have the speed to catch him and take the lead? As we also see Kenny Flourish, he also had pitted on lap 19. He's coming in, and Evan Ethel's coming out. Might be able to gain a few spots with these fresh tires. We will see. And Brogan still continues to lead, followed by the number 20 of Robert Tibbs. as Kenny's also out the pits. As JQ takes a look to the outside, heading into turn 1 and 2. Seven laps to go to the end of the race. Brogan with a 1 second lead. Can he build on that? Or does Tibbs have enough to make a run at the 3? Or does the 3 make a mistake? Right now it's clear sailing. I don't see lap cars too close ahead, so they should make it to the end without running into any lap traffic. But Tibbs seems to be pulling away from the number 10. Weezy's in the pits. Tough day for that team. Right now, the number 3's in control. One and a half second lead. Just has to continue hitting his marks as we go around turn 8, turn 9. Tibbs has to get out, get anything he can, any type of edge he can. He has to figure something out to make up some ground because he is running out of laps. 5 laps to go. As he gets a little loose coming out of 2. But Robert Tibbs is up 23 positions. So regardless of what happens today, he put on one heck of a race. He was caught up in some incidents early and has worked his way up to the front. JQ has just been hanging around all race, currently in 3rd. So it would be a solid finish for him and his Desperado team. And Justin Chris is in 4th, followed by Freddie Trammell in 5th. Apex have had some fast cars today. Just a little bad luck. But Brogan continues to lead as we have 4 laps to go. And the track has cooled down quite a bit, down to 109. That cloud cover definitely going to help as we see Joe Green take 13th. As Mike Honcho spins out, he loses it. He did make contact with the 31. So he lost a few positions there. The number 3 continues to put together some good times. He's up 2 seconds. As the number 3 loses it or is going into pit road. And the number 20. Now this is a crazy turn of events. Obviously they don't have enough fuel. So what does that say for the rest of the drivers? As now JQ's in the lead with 3 laps to go. So they are short on fuel by a few laps, so they had to come in. JQ also pitted on lap 26. So will he be short? Or will he just go for it? If not, Justin Chris is next man up, and he would take the lead. This has been such a wild race, but this is how it has to end, in a wild fashion. What will JQ do as we go around turn 10? As Brogan and Robert did a splash and go. They're back out on the track, 15th, 16th. As the 10 doesn't have enough fuel, he comes out into pit road. Now Justin Chris takes the lead. As we head into the front stretch. 2 laps to go. We talked about it earlier. It might come down to strategy, and this is exactly what has happened. Now can the 499 hold off Freddie Trammell? The 499 wants to secure a spot in the playoffs. Last year's champion. He wants to repeat. Now does he have enough fuel? They pitted 4 laps later. Can the 56 find a way to catch up and pass the 499? Tyler Command is now in 3rd. Lotus Lee in 4th. Josh King in 5th. What a wild turn of events. As we go around turn 13 and head into the front stretch. White flag is out, final lap. All Justin Chris has to do is hit his marks, get around one more time. Does he have enough fuel to make it one more time? As we go around turns 1 and 2. Freddie Trammell doing everything he can. He's half a second back. He's hoping for any little mistake from the 499. We go around turn 7 into this S turn. As the 499 gets loose. He's giving it everything he can to stay on the lead. We go around turn 11. He's pushing that car hard. He goes around turn 13 into the final turn. We go into the front stretch. Justin Chris wins at Indianapolis and secures a spot in the playoffs. What a race for the 499. This was an amazing race. So many things happened. Cars were out of it. They came back. Some had no fuel. It came down to pit strategy. What an amazing race. And last year's champion secures a spot of the round of 16. This race had everything you could think of. Plenty of cautions, plenty of wrecks. But it all came down to fuel strategy. And the crew chief for the 499, he made the right moves. I mean, it was unfortunate for Brogan. Brogan had this win. He just did not have the fuel. And JQ tried to stretch it out one more lap. But he also ran out. He had to come in. But this is how wild road courses can be on the circuit. And just think about it. The start of the playoffs, week 9, we're in the Charlotte Roval. If you thought this race was exciting, wait till week 9 when the championship is the playoffs. You know, the bottom 4 drivers and points get knocked out. The 12 move, the top 12 move on. So the stakes are higher at that point. But Justin Chris put together a heck of a race. So congrats to him and his team. After it wasn't looking good in the start of the race, man, they all put it together. But Justin Chris was consistent all race. He was hanging around that top 5 all race. He kept a clean car. And that's what you have to do on the road courses. So like I said before, let's take a look at the schedule. For week 5, we head to Charlotte. And Charlotte produces some great racing as well. Then we go to a mile track, New Hampshire, week 6. Then a short track, week 7 at Iowa. And week 8, we finish out at Auto Club, which is a very fast track. And that race is going to determine so much of who gets into the playoffs, who doesn't, who gets in by points, who gets in by a win. So week 8 is such a huge week. But for those that have not locked in with a win, you're running out of time. There's only 4 races left before we start the playoffs. So if you're down in those standings and you know you're not going to get in by points, you're going to have to do something to get a win. And you only have 4 chances to do it. So it's going to be crazy those last few weeks for the playoffs. But we will see what happens. As you can see, today showed how competitive this league is. So much can happen. Things could turn on a dime. But man, there was a lot of drivers that had a great race. The 31, he had a commanding lead in the beginning of the race. You know, we saw Brogan have the lead for a while. Who else am I missing here? Evan Ethel, such a tough start to the race, man, and he jumps to the lead, stays on the lead for a while. It came down to fuel for that team. You know, there was a few teams that came down to fuel, but they bounced back. They should have probably finished in the 30s after the stuff that happened to them during the race, but they bounced back. and they finished decent. So we will see what Charlotte brings next week in week 5. This has been an exciting week of racing, and this was the best way to top it off. This has been JV on the call. I will see you guys next time.